So last month, I did a fun piece about albums released in the year 1975. Yeah, 50 years ago. And that was really quite a year for rock albums, with my personal favorites, including the likes of Pink Floyd's Wish You Were Here, Springsteen's Born to Run, Queen's A Night at the Opera, and Aerosmith's Toys in the Attic. Quite a top four, huh? Well, this time around, I'm going to reflect on rock LPs that made a big impression on me 10 years later, 1985. Hard to believe 85 is 40 years ago, but yeah, time flies, right? Well, maybe I'm biased having been a teen in 1975, but 85 did not give us the quality rock and roll that we got 10 years earlier, in my view. Heck, the top singles for 1985 were Wham's Careless Whisper and Madonna's Like a Virgin, both of which, by the way, actually were released in the second half of 1984. All right, I'm going to give you my personal top 10 favorite albums of 1985 in just a bit. But first, I'll mention that that year also brought us We Are the World and Live Aid, and popular LPs like Prince's Around the World in a Day, Sting's Dream of the Blue Turtles, AC/DC's Fly on the Wall, Motley Crue's Theater of Pain, ZZ Top's Afterburner, U2's Wide Awake in America EP, Bad among the songs on there, and soundtracks from the movies St. Elmo's Fire and The Breakfast Club. Oh, yeah, Whitney Houston, by the way, she released her first album ever in 1985, and yes, I do own it. All right, let's get to the handful of 1985 albums that I liked a lot but didn't quite crack my top 10. Let's give all these honorable mention status, okay? Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers' Southern Accents, first of all, which featured Don't Come Around Here No More and Rebels. How about Tears for Fears, songs from the big chair with the big hits, Head Over Heels, Shout, and Everybody Wants to Rule the World. Rush's Power Windows. To be honest, I liked Rush's earlier stuff a little better than that one. The debut album from The Firm, Jimmy Page and Paul Rodgers. And Robert Palmer's Riptide with the massive hit and memorable video, Addicted to Love. All right, my personal top 10 favorite albums released in 1985. Number 10 is a classic by a guy who was huge throughout the 1980s, the great Phil Collins, and his No Jacket Required LP featuring One More Night and Su Su Studio. Ninth on the list, then, a gem from INXS, Listen Like Thieves, with that great title song and the terrific What You Need. In the eighth spot, maybe a bit of a surprise, a self-titled album from Heart, which included the hits Never, These Dreams, and What About Love. Man, Ann Wilson could sing. At number 7 on my list of favorites from 1985, the album Little Creatures by Talking Heads, with great songs like Road to Nowhere, Stay Up Late, and She Was. Number 6, then, an album that has great tunes like She's Waiting and Forever Man, Eric Clapton's Behind the Sun. All right, ready for my top 5? Here we go. In the 5th spot, a double live album released very late in the year by Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers. It's this one, Pack Up the Plantation, featuring concert versions of early hits like The Waiting, plus covers, including The Byrds' So You Want to Be a Rock and Roll Star and The Searchers' Needles and Pins. Number 4, then, a great solo album by former CCR frontman John Fogerty, Center Field, with that terrific title tune that you still hear quite often all these years later, plus The Old Man Down the Road and Rock and Roll Girls. My third favorite album of 1985, yeah, this one by the great Philly band The Hooters, Nervous Night, their major label debut with a new version of All You Zombies, plus the big hits And We Danced and Day by Day. So good. Number 2, John Mellencamp's terrific LP, Scarecrow. Oh, he was actually still John Cougar Mellencamp at the time, but yeah, Scarecrow featuring Rain on the Scarecrow, Lonely All Night, and the big hit, Small Town. ROCK in the USA on there as well. And my absolute favorite album of 1985, which also happened to be the best-selling album that year, Dire Straits' Brothers in Arms, with the massive hit Money for Nothing and other great tunes like Walk of Life and So Far Away. Album sales of Brothers in Arms, well, over 30 million units. Wow. Okay, here is a closer look at my list of favorites from 1985. No, not as good as the year 1975 or even 1984, to be honest, but hey, not bad. And if you are a fan of music, movies, and other fun stuff, be sure to subscribe to my Random Chet YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and go enjoy some music.